heart center and take deep breaths, yes. Find your Tadasana, ground yourself, find all four corners of your feet lifting your insteps. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Finding that Ujjayi breath. Setting your intention for your practice today. And we begin with Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, arms up over the head, palms touch. Exhale, we're going to swan dive forward. Bend the knees since this is the first one. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, walk back to the top of the push-up. We'll do a modification as you bend your knees to the earth. Lower your body down in one piece. Inhale for cobra. And lower down. Exhale back into your downward dog. We hold this downward dog for 5 breaths. Lifting up in the belly, lift your sit bones up, feet are hip width apart. Making sure your index fingers forward, you have spaces in between your hands. Let your head go. Take those deep Ujjayi breaths. Lifting up in the belly. Letting the head look in between the feet, feeling that length behind the body. Lengthen the arms. Looking in between the hands, walk or hop to the front of your mat. Hands to the shins as you lengthen the spine on the inhale. Exhale, folding forward. Ground your feet into the earth, arms up over the head, coming back to your Tadasana. Palms touch on the inhale. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, arms up over your head. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Now here's another modification. Just come to Plankasana. You can bend the knees or lower down to Chaturanga. Then you can lower all the way down for Cobra or come up for Upward Dog on the inhale. Exhale, Downward Dog. Holding 5 breaths. One more round of breath. Looking in between the hands, bend the knees, hop or walk to the front of your mat. Lengthening the spine on the inhales. Fingertips touch the mat or hands on your shins. Lower back down on that exhale. Ground the feet into the floor. Arms come up over the head. Palms touch on that inhale. Hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up over the head. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, lengthening the spine. Walk or hop back to your Chaturanga on the exhale. Inhale for Cobra or Upward Dog. Exhale, Downward Dog. Being mindful of your hands and feet on the mat. Taking the deepest breaths you can. Keeping your eyes open, being aware of what's going on in the body. between the hands, bend the knees. Let's come to the front of the mat. Lengthen the spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Ground down, inhale, arms up over the head. Palms touch. Hands to heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. The chaturanga variation that you choose on that exhale. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Hear that ocean quality in the breath. Looking in between the hands, bend the knees, come to the front of the mat. Lengthen the spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Ground down, inhale, arms up over the head. Palms touch, hands to heart. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward. Breathe. Experience the breath going through the body. Feeling the oscillation of the spine every time you inhale and exhale. Feeling the spaces that the breath is giving the body. Looking between the hands and bend the knees. Let's come to the front of the mat. Lengthening the spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Ground down, inhale. Arms up over the head. Palms touch. Hands to heart. Surya B. Fingertips grace the ground as they come up for Utkatasana. Fingertips can touch. If you have shoulder impingement, open up your hands. Try to find a nice long spine without tucking in or out. Lift up to the sky and breathe. Sit down into the chair. Folding forward for your vinyasa. And my left foot spins out. My right foot's going to come forward for warrior one, bringing that left shoulder and hip forward. I can modify this posture by placing my hands on my quadriceps, just lengthening that knee, or just staying in the lunge. Whichever you choose, just breathe. Fold forward for your vinyasa. My right foot spins out as my left foot steps forward in the lunge. Heels are in line with each other as I come up for Virabhadrasana 1. Press, lift the sternum. Holding forward. Vinyasa. Making sure those hands, those fingers have spaces in between them. Lifting those sit bones in this downward dog. Feel the breath as it makes our body rebound in the space. Looking between the hands, bend the knees. Let's come to the front of the mat. Lengthen the spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees, come back into Utkatasana. Hands to heart. We repeat this 4 more times. Utkatasana. Fold forward for your vinyasa. Keep your focus forward on that chaturanga. My left foot spins out as my right foot comes forward for warrior one. Inhale. On the exhale, we're going to fold forward for the vinyasa. My right foot spins out as my left foot steps forward. Warrior one. Vinyasa. Breathe. Uddiyana Bandha. Lift up in the belly, squeezing the pelvic floor. Looking between the hands, bend the knees. Let's come to the front of the mat. Lengthen the spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees, come into Utkatasana. Hands to heart. Number 3, Utkatasana. Folding forward. Vinyasa. Left foot spins out, right foot steps forward. Arms come up over the head. Breathe. Always remember the modifications if you need to take them. Fold forward for your vinyasa. Right foot spins out, left foot steps forward. Arms up. Vinyasa. Breathe. Lifting up from the sit bones. Looking in between the hands, bend the knees. Let's come to the front of the mat. Lengthening your spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees again for your Utkatasana. Number 4, Utkatasana. Vinyasa. Left foot spins out, right foot steps forward. Come into your warrior one. Exhale, fold forward. Breathe. Right foot spins out, left foot steps forward. Warrior one. Fold forward. Vinyasa. Looking between the hands and bend the knees. Come to the front of the mat, lengthening the spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees, coming into Utkatasana. Hands to heart. Number 5, Utkatasana. Vinyasa. Now if you want to double dip, here's where you would do that. And you can spin the left foot out, bringing the right foot forward for warrior one. And the more you do the practice, the more you want to try to do different things. And breathe. Vinyasa. Right foot spins out, left foot comes forward, warrior one. Vinyasa. Look in between the hands and bend the knees. Come to the front of the mat, lengthening the spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees, come into Utkatasana. And then release. So we did 5 Saraya A, 5 Saraya B. Hands come to the hips. And you could step or hop out. Hip width. If you have any spinal issues, your feet are going to go straight out. If not, turn your toes in slightly. Inhale, lift the sternum. Exhale, swan dive forward for Pada Angustasana. Grabbing a hold of the big toes with your peace fingers. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, folding forward. Pull, rocking towards the metatarsal. Lifting the sit bones. Bending the elbows. 5 breaths. And then release the toes, hands to the hips. Come up on that inhale. Lift the sternum, press the hips forward as you come back to the forward fold. Padahastasana, placing the whole hand underneath the foot. Yes? Lengthening the spine, rocking slightly towards the metatarsal, bending the elbows, folding forward, and breathe. Feeling the length in the back of the body. Two more rounds of breath. Placing the hands to the hips. Now, inhale your way up, lifting your heart, pressing the sternum forward, pressing your hips forward, and then come back to center. Hands to heart. Bring your feet back to Tadasana. Just breathe. Feel the yoga. We're going to open up our right foot and come into the triangle series. So, right foot opens up to the side. You could use the back of your mat as a marker if you need to. Right? So I'm going to turn my right foot towards the back wall. I'm going to turn my left toes in slightly. My heels should be in line with each other, but I want to keep my hips square. My right arm is going to extend, Utthita Trikonasana, extended triangle. If you need a block, you're placing it by your foot. Yes? So extend that right arm. Try not to collapse in the right rib cage. Lower the hand down to the shin if possible, to the ankle if possible, to the foot. But I don't want you to sacrifice depth for alignment. Bringing the right side of the rib cage forward. Lift the left arm if possible. If not, you can keep it on your hip. Look up at the hand. Your drishti is the hand in the air. Keep breathing. try to square the hips, pressing them forward. It's a lateral extension and a hip opener. Then come up, inhale. Bring that right foot in and turn the left toes out. Yeah. So square off the shoulders and try to extend to the back wall. Lowering the hand down to a block, your shin, your foot, wherever you can. Bringing the left side of the rib cage forward. Yeah? Pretending you're in between two panes of glass. Lifting the right arm up if that's possible for you. And breathe. No crunching on the left side. One more round of breath. And then come up. Bringing the left toes in. We're going to revolve this triangle, placing your hands to your hips. We're going to pivot our feet to the back wall. If you need a block, it's coming into your left hand. Yes? Inhale that left arm up. Create space. Inhale. Exhale, twisting to the right. Placing the left hand on the outside of the right foot or on top of a block or on your shin, wherever you need to. Try to think that this twist is really coming from the thoracic spine, not just your hips move. Press. Yes, bringing the left side of the rib cage to the right. You can keep your hand on your hip or you can extend the arm up. Squeezing Mula Bandha. Yes, utilizing Uddiyana Bandha. And then come out of that. Yes, gently. Be gentle with yourself. Yeah, let's pivot towards the other side of the mat. If you need a block, it's coming in your right hand. Arms come up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twisting to the outside of the left foot, to your shin or on top of a block. Whatever you need, right? Thinking that it's coming from my thoracic spine, my mid-spine. Lifting up in the belly. Yeah, this is an extraordinary twist. Such a detoxifying posture. Great for any kind of digestive problems. Also, it's great for our nervous system around our spine. Placing the hand back on the hips, come up, inhale. Opening back out to your separate leg position, right? Now, let's open up to Warrior Two. Utthita Parsva Konasana, extended side angle. Now come into Warrior Two, right? I like to have the angles of your heel and the arch of your foot in line, so we have more space. Opening up from the hip, yes, the knee is coming along for the ride. Sit, take breaths. Now take that right forearm and place it on the right quadricep. Try not to lift that left hip up. Here's Parsva Konasana. Now to extend the Parsva, you want to extend that left arm over the ear. Yes, your drishti is in the middle of your left palm. Now you can take this right hand and place it behind or in front of your foot, or you can keep it where it is. Creating this angle, this beautiful, long side angle. Bringing that right side of the rib cage forward. And then coming back up into Warrior Two. Now let's change to the other side. So my left foot is leading as I come into this Warrior Two. Spine is the center of the posture. I want to place my left forearm on my left quad as I lift that right arm up. Here is a side angle. But if I want to extend that, Utthita, extend the side angle, I do it with my arm, placing the hand on the ground if that's possible, and really bring the left side of the rib cage forward, even more. Breathe. And then come back into that Warrior Two. And then release. Let's revolve that. Parivrita Utthita Parsva Konasana. So we are going to pivot to the back wall again. Please bring that left hip with you. You're going to bring the left knee down on the ground. Yeah, this is the modified version. We're not coming from a warrior one. Hands to heart. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, we're going to hook the left elbow over the right knee. Now you can stay here, or you can tuck the toes underneath you and extend that back leg. So the energy is going out through the heel. Now really bring the hands to the heart for an extra twist. You can extend the arms if your elbow is hooked. Right? You can even start to bind. Yeah? So there's steps. And we can hold wherever we need to hold. Then release. Hands to the ground. Now pivot without having that knee on the ground. Just pivot to the front of the mat. Bending the right knee gently. If you need to double your mat, that's what you're doing. Hands come to heart center. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist. Hook the elbow. Bringing the hands to the heart center. Yeah, you're really using that Uddiyana Bandha. Yes, you're trying to get that belly. And tucking the toes underneath you if you wish. If you're going to go on. Remember, you can stay wherever you need to stay. And then release that. Come back to center. Catch your breath. Hands to the mat. We're going to pivot. Yeah, for Prasarita Padottasana. So we're pivoting towards the right. Yeah. So let's just bring our feet to the back of the mat so everyone has a marker. So you learn that we need to be even. Now just come up inhale on the inhale. Yeah. So we'll start this Prasarita with the knowledge of knowing that if you have any spinal issues, you're not turning your toes in, right? If you're okay, you're turning your toes in. If you have any spinal issues, your feet are straight out, right? So, inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, swan dive forward. We're going to grab a hold of our big toes, lengthening the spine again. Exhaling, fold forward, and pull. Looking in between your eyebrows, just pull. Rocking towards the metatarsal, not towards the heel. And then place the hands on the hips. Come up on that inhale, long spine, pressing the hips slightly forward. And then swan dive again. Yeah. Interlacing your fingers behind you. Hands to the hips. Coming up on that inhale, nice long spine. Pressing the hips forward again. Swan diving forward again. Keeping your hands to your hips. Remind yourself to rock forward and lift the sit bones. Come to the front of your mat. Hands to heart. Find your Tadasana. Feeling the four corners of your feet, your insteps nice and lifted. Beautiful. Right foot comes behind you. Yes, Parsvottanasana. Now you can reverse this namaskar in between your shoulder blades, right? Or you can interlace your fingers behind you, or just grab a hold of the pointy parts of your elbows. Now I want you to lift your heart. Yeah. Inhale. Exhale. Your chin, your spine is nice and long. Your chin is leading. Your heart is leading. Your clavicle is leading. Nice and long. Yeah. Parsvottanasana, pyramid posture, we can call it too. Feeling the whole back of the legs stretching. If you need to modify, your hands are going on the outside of that left foot, both hands on the outside of the left foot. Now, just come up, yeah? Breathe. All the way. You're going to bring that right foot to meet the left. Keep your hands in the bun. So the left foot comes back. Squaring off the hips before you go down. So square off. Align yourself first. Inhale. Lead with your heart as you fold forward. Yeah, intense side stretch. Deep Ujjayi breaths. Then come up. Bringing the left foot to meet the right. Release the hands, coming into your Tadasana. Just breathe. Feel the energy flowing through the arms, yeah? Flowing through the back of the body. Lifting up in the instep. Beautiful. Utthita Hasta Pada Angustasana. Now, grab a hold of that right knee. You have options, right? You can grab a hold of the knee. You can grab a hold of behind the knee. You can just hold the toe and pull up and hold this for the whole time. And you're learning Bhujapidasana, right? So, you can extend the leg. It's a big toe extension. We can go forward. Really lift up on the standing leg. Remember, we are not collapsing. Right? And open up to the right. Yeah, in this lineage, your hand should be on your hip. But there's also times that you can lift and lengthen the arms. If it feels good. Right? Bringing that leg back to the center. Hands to hips. Gently lower the leg down. Breathe. Just let go. It's done. Let's do the other side. So you have options, right? You could just hold this for the whole time. This is teaching you how to stand. Right? Or you can extend. Open up to the side. Breathe. Good. And bring it back to the center. Lifting the chest. And then releasing down slowly. Take breaths, let go. Tadasana. Ardha Baddha Padmottanasana. Yes? So you can come into tree for the modification. Remember the modifications for tree. Ankle, shin, or thigh. Or Ardha Baddha in front of the thigh. Whichever you choose, it's your option, right? So if your knees are feeling it, you're not doing it. This is for your hips. Yeah? Okay. Just breathe. If you want to take that right arm behind you, grab a hold of the hinge of the left arm. Lift the sternum, exhale, fold forward. You can try the first bounce, the first hip opening, one-legged bounce. Yeah. And then release. Let's come up out of that. Lift out of that left leg. Breathe. And then release. Let's do the opposite side. So if you did tree on one side, you're going to do it on this side, yeah? If not, you're going to do Ardha Baddha Padma. Feel it in the hip. Yeah, don't force your knees to do anything they don't want to do. If you want to fold forward, you are. Eventually you'll grab a hold of the toe with this right hand. We're just opening out the shoulders right now. And then gently come up. And then release. And hands to heart, just take breaths. Tadasana, always come back home. Fingertips graze the ground as we come up for Utkatasana for 5 breaths. Vinyasa. So my right foot's going to step out, my left foot turns out as I come into a 5-breath warrior 1. So breathe in it, bringing the shoulders and hips forward, lengthening that front part of the body. Yes, it's a back bend and it's a twist. Opening your heart, lifting the sternum. Lift up and out for warrior 2. Your drishti is over the middle finger of your right hand. Finding the center of this posture, opening up from the hip. Bringing the left arm forward to windmill for your vinyasa. Now, my left foot comes forward for this warrior 1. Yes, 5 breaths. Lift up for your warrior 2. Sit and breathe. Opening out the hip, letting the knee come along for the ride. Not opening from the knee. Make sure you feel the back of the right foot, the side of it. And roll over. Take breaths. Bringing the right arm forward for your vinyasa. Breathe. So you want to lift up in the belly. Yeah, Uddiyana Bandha. Now lift your heels up, And then lower them down. And do it again. Lift your heels up. And then lower them down. Now just lift up in the belly. Lift your sit bones. Now I want you just to hop where you are. Just hop. And try to hop over your hand. Yeah? Hop. Feel that lift up in the belly. Yeah? And then come back to downward dog. Now you can sit on the mat, or you can slightly hop and come into a seated posture for the primary series, starting with Dandasana. So, long leg, extended. Dandasana is the foundation of all seated postures. So, tuck the chin into the chest, Jalarana Hara Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, upward flying, Mula Bandha, pelvic floor, squeeze it. Vinyasa. Cross the feet at the ankles, jump back into your modification of Chaturanga or Chaturanga, Cobra or Upward Dog, into a Downward Dog, and then we come back to the seated posture for Paschimottanasana. If you need a strap, use it. If you need a block to sit on the block. Yes, I want you to be on the sit bones. Right? Inhale, arms up over the head. Exhale, folding forward, grabbing the big toes, your wrists, the sides of your feet. Whatever you're doing, just don't round forward. Yes, if you need to bend the knees, that's what you're doing. Pressing the chest towards the quad so you can feel a length in the spine, just like in Dandasana. Right? Breathe. Feel this posture starting from the base of the spine. Yeah, we're flexing from the hips, yes. But feel the length coming out from the base of the spine out through the head as we press the whole top of the body towards the legs. So my focus is towards the tops of my feet as I'm pulling my forehead to the tops of my feet. Vinyasa. Coming right into a seated posture. Urdhva. Yes? Now you can come into a nice long reverse plank, or you can come into a reverse tabletop. Whichever you choose. Yes? Press. If your cervical spine is bothering you, don't drop your head back. Just focus on pressing the hips up. And then lower down, Vinyasa. Seated posture. Janushriyasana. Right? Head to knee posture. So again, if you need a strap, you're using the strap. Everything comes from that long position. No rounding in the spine. Yes, eventually my head, my face is going to come onto my shin or my knee. Arms come up over the head, twist to the left. Internally rotate that left leg as we go all the way down towards that leg. If you need to bend the knee, that's what you're doing. Pull, lengthen the spine. go into the other side, change legs. So really feel this left foot into the quad, into the side of this right thigh. Internally rotate this leg, engage your leg so you can see the muscles popping out of the top of the quad. Inhale, arms up over the head, lengthen. We're going to be flexing from the hip, right? Even if you don't go very far, this is great. So we can start to lengthen the muscles around the spine. Don't sacrifice depth for alignment. Hold. And then release. Vinyasa, yes? If you're not doing a vinyasa, just come into a navasana. You can always do that modification, or you can always opt out of the vinyasa. Coming into a seated posture, we'll do the Marchasana series. Yeah, so the left leg extends, right foot comes in. There's a space between you and your foot. You're going to place that left hand behind you like a kickstand. I'm going to lift up on those sit bones, right? Settle down. Lift that arm up. Inhale, create space. Go forward like I'm shaking someone's hand. Wrap my hand around the knee as I grab a hold of my wrist or my fingers behind me. Inhale. Yeah, don't forget about the inwardly rotated left leg and it's flexed. Chin is leading. We go down. It's a forward fold. And then release. Let's do the other side. Now you have options to do vinyasas in between these as well if you wanted to, right? For time's sake, we're not going to do them. So inhale, arm up. Exhale, go forward, and then start to wrap the arm around the knee, grabbing a hold of the right arm behind you. What's going on with that right leg? Turn it in. Yeah? And flex the toes. Chin leads. Go forward. And then release vinyasa. You have the option to opt out or do a navasana. Come into your seated posture. Navasana, Marchasana, sorry. So, same leg is up as we started with, this right knee. I'm going to internally rotate this left leg, yeah? I'm going to take my left hand on the outside of my right knee. My right hand is behind me like a kickstand. I'm going to inhale, lengthen my spine. Exhale, I twist. Now I could also bring my elbow onto the outside of my right knee and keep on twisting. So good for you. So good for your spine, these twists. Keep breathing. All the nerves that come out of the spinal cord are just being massaged right now. All the bones are getting nutrition. And then come back to the center. Yummy for the spine. Yeah? Let's do the other side. Again, think about this leg. It's like your standing leg. Right? So, inhale. Exhale, twist. Back to the center. Vinyasa, if you choose to opt out, you can. This time we go right into Navasana. Now, if you're not coming in and out of Navasana 5 times, All you're going to do is lower your feet down, wait for everyone to come back in, and then lift your legs back up, okay? So hold. We've got 3 more rounds of breath. Vinyasa, or opt out by just lowering your toes down. Navasana. Vinyasa. Navasana, this is number 3. Breathe. Vinyasa, number 4, it's coming. Last one. Breathe. This is our Manipura chakra. Everything that we create, everything that we destroy. Right here, our willpower. Breathe. Take 2 more rounds of breath. And then lower down. Soles of the feet together. Baddha Konasana. Breathe. Inhale. Yeah. Long spine. I don't ever want to see you round the spine unless we're in a yin class. Yeah. So open up the feet like a good book. Your heels are indicative of your range of motion of your hips. So not necessarily is everyone going to be in here. You could be out here. Right? So lengthen the spine and then go forward. Whatever that is for you. Feeling the length in the spine and the inner thighs as well. A lot of energy meridians run through the inner thigh. Energy meridians run through the whole body. But when we're in certain postures, we feel them though. Looking forward, feeling it come from the base of the spine, coming right out the top of your head. And then release, everybody. Beautiful. Bringing the knees in gently. Yes, one at a time. We're going to lower down mindfully to the back. So we're in a supine position. We come into 3 back bends of your choice. Yes. So grab a hold of your ankles if you'd like, or interlace your fingers. We're coming into Setu Bandhasana. Lifting the hips up, tucking the chin into the chest, and just breathe. And then lower down. Knees together, just release, reset the lower spine. So we're going to do that again, either one, or you can put a block underneath your sacrum for supported bridge, whichever you choose. You can interlace your fingers or grab a hold of your heels, or you can come into full wheel, whichever you choose. And then lower down. Yeah, let those knees drop in, just resetting the spine. Just breathe. It's like highways of energy are running through your body. Yeah, we're opening up space. Our third and last one, whichever one you choose, just go right into it. Full wheel, half bridge, half supported bridge. And then lower down. Just breathe, my love. How awesome does that feel? Now we're coming into all limbs up, or Sarvangana or Viparita. If you'd like to come on the wall with your legs, please do so. Inversions, remember the contraindication if you're pregnant, high blood pressure, or glaucoma, you are not coming into an inversion. Right, but Viparita is kind of safe. You could put your feet up on, your legs up on the wall. Yeah, you could also lift your arms up for all limbs up. Yeah, all the fluids are coming downward in a downward motion instead of in the opposite direction, right? They're coming from my toes to my groin, from my fingertips to my armpit. Yeah, you could stay here if you like. This is a beautiful posture for your lymphatic system. Actually, it gives us energy in the legs. You could stay here. Yeah, and listen to your body. If you want to come up to shoulder stand, please get a blanket ready for your C7. Yeah, if you have a blanket, yeah, fold the blanket the way you should. Yeah, one of these yogi toes will suffice. You want to create that nice padding for the C7. Shoulder stand. You want to come into halasana or plow, you can. Only if you know where you're at, if you feel good in it. If not, you're not doing it. If you want to come into Karnapidasana or deaf man's posture, you can. Gently place the hands back on the lower spine, yes, and guide yourself down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Extending the legs to the end of the mat, coming into the counter posture of shoulder stand, Mayasana or fish. Lifting the chest, opening out the throat, Visuddha chakra, yeah, throughout that shoulder stand where you were not moving your head from side to side. Your chin was tucked into your chest, utilizing Jalarandhara Bandha. Now we're opening up that energy and it's flooding our head with beautiful space. And then lower down. Just take a moment here and be mindful of where you are today in your practice. If you want to do an inversion, here's the time to do it. If you're working on tripod, on handstand, on headstand, yeah? We're going to take a vinyasa first. So we come up, cross the feet, come into your vinyasa. And if you're working on tripod, in the beginning it's the first thing I teach you in the modified series, and then we go on to regular headstand. You bend your knees, you place your head on the mat, your arms are bent, your elbows are up. You place one knee at a time on either elbow. Lifting up out of the neck, don't crunch. Then you start to lift the feet up off the ground. This is the perfect beginning to headstand. Stimulating the pineal gland. And throughout our training, we will be doing handstands, headstands on the wall, elbow stands. But this is the beginning. Then lower down, come into a child's pose. Balasana. And then gently come up to hero. Just pause. If you want to come into Padmasana or Sukhasana, you can. If you want to lift up in Tolasana with 2 blocks, you can. Just breathe. Center yourself before we come into our Savasana. And then lower back onto your spine.